When you're just starting to invest, you wonder if you should pay for some of these investing services to help you pick stocks. And if you've looked around, you've probably come across Morningstar. It's one of the more well-known places to go. I've used the financial data on the Morningstar website for a while now, and that's just with the stuff that they provide for free. But I recently signed up for Morningstar Investor, which is the new name for their premium service, just to try it out, see if it's worth it. So in this video, we're going to go step by step through the service so you can compare it to what you're already getting for free, and then I'll talk a little bit about if I think I'm going to renew when the time comes. But let's talk about features. First off, the general Morningstar website provides basic stock information for free. So things you would expect to see like last stock price, company profile, key ratios are all there, and they're all free. And they also provide a news tab that aggregates news across the internet about that particular stock. I love that. And also, Morningstar provides some of the best data online to evaluate a company, including their financial statements, their valuation metrics, and key numbers related to their operating performance. And not only for picking individual stocks, Morningstar also includes similar information for mutual funds and ETFs. Basic information about the fund is included like quote, risk profile, performance, and portfolio and holdings. And while the detailed analysis and medal rating is locked down, Morningstar does provide a star rating for ETFs and mutual funds in the free version. The star rating basically looks at past performance compared to similar funds. And all that's for free, which is one of the reasons why I've been using the Morningstar site for a while now. I actually talked about it in my cash flow yield video, which if you want to watch, I'll link it up here. Or here, or it'll be linked somewhere. So what actually does the investor subscription get you? In a nutshell, it gets you access to Morningstar's analyst reports and valuations for stocks and mutual funds, as well as their investor portal, which has tools to manage your portfolio and research new investments. All right, so now let's go through each one so you can take a look behind the scenes. So first off, once you subscribe to the investor service and you log into your account, all of a sudden those locked down parts of the website open up. You're able to see the Morningstar rating, the full stock analysis and archive of previous reports, as well as the stock valuation and history. For mutual funds and ETFs, you can now see the medal rating as well as a detailed analysis of the fund. Probably the most helpful feature, or the one that people want the most, is the detailed analysis that you get for each stock and mutual fund. Specifically for stocks, being able to read through the evaluation and see their estimated fair value versus what the stock is trading for is definitely helpful in understanding how a company is doing and if their stock is generally overvalued or undervalued right now. And for mutual funds, you get the medal rating with the analysis that shows which funds are top rated for Morningstar going forward and why. Being able to easily compare against other funds you're looking at is great. And all those things are pretty helpful, especially if you're just getting started picking individual stocks or mutual funds for yourself, because you get an idea of how other people look at and evaluate a stock and value an investment. Plus, if you're already using or like the normal Morningstar view, it just basically opens up in that same view and you have it all right there. But when you subscribe to Morningstar Investor, you also get access to the investor portal, which is a different area you can go that tries to put all the research tools and all the portfolio stuff in one place. So here's what it looks like. You basically go to Launch Investor and it opens up a new tab. What you see on the homepage here is a menu on the left, which we'll go through in a minute, and then a customized view of stock quotes and news based on what stocks and mutual funds you hold in your portfolios. In order to see it this way, you have to add your stocks to the portfolios in Morningstar, which we'll go through in a minute. But once you do, they show up here. What you can do from here is basically click on any number of things to get to it. You want to see your portfolios? They're right there. You want to look at your watch list, or maybe click on recent market news? It's all there. And you can even toggle your feed to only see things from your portfolio holdings or your watch list, or from any analyst that you happen to be following, which is a pretty cool feature. Okay, let's look at portfolios. So portfolios is where you can put your current holdings, and you can actually connect your Morningstar to your broker to automatically pull that info. Now, I'm not a huge fan of doing that type of thing, so I manually type it in. But once you do, you get access to a pretty cool tool called X-Ray. An X-Ray basically analyzes your portfolio and gives you a bunch of information about it to show stats about what you're invested in. And this is really great if you have a specific diversification plan or strategy that you want to follow, because it helps identify areas where you may be over-allocated or under-allocated in terms of your investments. So for me, even though this is cool and it's fun to look at, I don't really use it that often. Okay, so let's go to watch list. And believe it or not, the watch list functionality is one of my favorite features because they recently added the ability to customize the watch list view with a bunch of different criteria. So instead of having a watch list that's just basically a list of stocks and stock prices, now I actually have a list of stocks I want to follow with all the criteria that's important to me right up front. So in my case, I'm using price to fair value, price to cash flow, return on equity, PE ratio, and dividend yield. And what's cool about this is I can open up my watch list and very quickly scan to see if any of the companies I'm following are starting to get in a value range that I like. If they are, then I dig deeper. But I can at least get an idea of where they're at with just a glance at my watch list. It's amazing. And this is seriously a pretty cool feature. This is the one thing that I don't think I've seen implemented anywhere else, at least the places where I go. Next up is the following tab where you can choose Morningstar analysts to follow and have their articles show up. I don't personally really use this, but it's there. After that is a screener, and Morningstar Screener is actually really good because they add Morningstar ratings and evaluation criteria in with the screening options. Plus, you still have all the great Morningstar financial data that I was already using in there as well. And this is really helpful for narrowing down a list of potential stocks that meet the criteria that you're looking for. Up next is charting. I don't use the charting tab at all because I actually use TradingView for all my stock charts. So I don't really have an opinion on it other than it's pretty basic charting functionality. On the markets tab, it's basically a market overview that you see on a lot of different websites and services. I don't really use this view much at all, but again, it's there. Next up is the calendar tab, which I actually really love, specifically because you can look ahead at what earnings are coming up, and that's mostly what I use it for. And so it's extremely helpful in preparing for earnings season if you do that type of thing. And then the last three items are stocks, mutual funds, and ETFs, which basically takes you to an insights page about those three specific topics all in one place, almost like a categorized homepage for each of those things. Again, I don't really use that feature at all, but it is there. So overall, it's a pretty good list of features, but I will say the one major con is that there's no mobile app experience for the Morningstar Investor service. So you can log into a mobile browser and it works okay, and there actually is a Morningstar app, but your credentials for the investor service don't actually work there because it's not made for that. So that kind of sucks because there's some really good information and tools within Morningstar Investor, and I wish they had a mobile app to go along with it. Okay, let's talk price. Morningstar Investor costs $249 a year if you pay annually, or about $35 a month if you pay monthly. When I signed up, I found a discount link on NerdWallet and got my first year for $199, which was pretty good, but that's just for the first year. It goes back to $249 at the renewal. So first, when you look at the price, you're probably like, wow, $20 a month or $35 a month, it seems like a lot. But how I look at it is like this. If you found one good investment using this service every year, you'd probably make more than $250 off of that investment. Now, there's no way to guarantee that, of course, but I think the people that they're targeting are probably people that look at that price and probably think it's pretty cheap. So one thing you may not know is that some brokerage accounts will give you access to Morningstar reports and analysis as well for free. So I use Schwab as my main brokerage provider, and they actually provide Morningstar ratings and reports within their research tools. And what I found is that as it gets updated on Morningstar, it actually gets updated on Schwab too. The price to fair value history, which I like, is included in the report as well. And even when it comes to screening for stocks, Schwab provides Morningstar data points as criteria. And even though I really like the Morningstar calendar, Schwab has one that I actually like better to be able to catch earnings season. Plus, Schwab is providing me reports from other providers too, not just Morningstar. It's pretty awesome, really. The only thing that I don't get with Schwab is the watch list functionality and the mutual fund and ETF medal ranking, which aren't really a big deal to me. So even though I like the features on Morningstar Investor, I get mostly all of it for free with my Schwab account. So on one hand, it's great, but on another hand, it makes me question whether I should be paying for the service at all. So who is the Morningstar Investor service good for? So the people that I think are going to get the most value from the Morningstar Investor service, number one, are people who want to start picking individual stocks and they want to use the Morningstar analysis and reports as a guide to be able to do so. It's actually really great for that. Number two, I would say people who also don't already get access to Morningstar reports from their brokerage provider. Number three, people that are comfortable using a desktop or laptop computer, basically anyone who's not mobile only. And then the fourth criteria would be people that are going to consistently get that $20 to $40 a month of value from the service, which again, I don't think is very hard. I think one good investment a year will easily get you the price of the service and more. But all those criteria together, I think, are the right balance of people who the Morningstar Investor service makes sense for. Will I be renewing? So I definitely like the service. I like reading Morningstar's analysis. I like the price to fair value evaluation, and the watch list functionality is actually really great. But I'm probably not going to renew because I'm getting 95% of that value for free through my Schwab account. Now, if I wasn't getting it through Schwab, I probably would keep the service because I feel like I could easily get $250 a year worth of value out of it, like easily. But I am getting it from Schwab, at least 95% of it. So to me, I don't really have a reason to spend that money, and I can use it as a little extra money to invest instead. If you guys have any questions about the Morningstar Investor service or my experience with it, put them down in the comments below. If you guys are looking to build a dividend portfolio and want to know which 5 stocks I plan to hold forever, click on this video right here. Hope you guys have a great day out there. Thanks for sticking around to the end. Keep stacking those wins for your family, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.